Hey Libra, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading, general reading. Take what works, leave what doesn't. I'm splitting the deck. Overall for the reading from the bottom of the deck, we have Page of Cups. Is this you? Is this someone else? Surprising feelings, new emotions, discovery, emotional exploration. There's a lot of courage with looking at these emotions. It's not, we could scream and run and be like, oh my gosh, there's a fish in my heart. But we're not. We're like, well, what does this mean? What does it say? This could be like that you receive a message and there's something very surprising in it. And what are you going to do with that? And how can you understand it better? It does look like the fish is talking. Honestly, it looks like the fish is talking. There's also a message in your hand here. This has to do with emotions. I feel like there's communication here too. This one indicates it pretty clearly. There might be some tumultuous emotions. Oh, there's 4 little birds. Some emotions will be clearer than others. Okay, so over on Vimeo, I'm going to be doing a relationship-specific reading. So if you want to join me over there, the link will be in the description box right below the video. So let's move on with this tarot reading. Past, present, inner landscape, what's at issue, environment, to-do list, possible outcome. We got some cups here. So this is like more emotional relationship-based reading, possibly, just on the overall. All right, in the recent past, we have Ace of Swords, a communication or a realization, an epiphany coming in here. Some sort of an idea, perhaps a bright idea coming in. Divinely guided. Do we have mistletoe here? Or, yeah, that's what that appears to be. I wonder what mistletoe meant. Hold on, I'm going to look it up. All right, so it was also looking like oak. But in my little search of mistletoe, and I went with medieval ideas on mistletoe, sort of keeping chaos at bay with peace and harmony. So bringing peace and harmony to a chaotic situation. So you may have had a realization and understanding or a communication. Those are all our swords of that. And apparently the Druids very specifically used mistletoe from oak trees, which I thought was kind of fun given what I was seeing here. So some sort of realization brought a lot of clarity to a situation, maybe dispelled some confusion and chaos. And current situation, King of Cups. Who are you? Are you the King of Cups? Is someone else the King of Cups? Emotional maturity. You're handling this news like a champ. Yeah, the clear news came in. It changed things, and you are handling it just wonderfully. You are stable, you are grounded, you are not freaking out. Other people may be freaking out. The situation may generally be expected to produce a freak out. You are not freaking out, though. There's someone here that's very emotionally mature. So, yeah, there's a lot of like just emotional stability, right? And that's like, it's very important to be able to feel our emotions, hear our emotions, receive them as if they are just another part of our body and the senses coming in here giving us information. So that's really important to receive that information from our bodies, from our feelings, those emotions. And then give ourselves some space to make some time to either, how are we going to react to this? And that's we start off with the Page of Cups, something surprising. So maybe perhaps some surprising information, and somebody you or somebody else, I want to talk about it as if it's you, are dealing with it very well. Very, like the page, in some ways you can see the page becoming the king. You can see the pathway there because the page starts off with surprise, curiosity, which is actually a very emotionally mature way to start off a relationship of just curiosity, wondering what's going on. And so what's interesting too is this Page of Cups has a message and then general curiosity about the message. And then our first two cards show up with a message or a realization or a clear understanding of something. And then we have not necessarily curiosity, because the page doesn't know what's going on, but we do have curiosity is a very strong, it does indicate the possibility and the probability for future emotional, for a strong future emotional response or connection to something, right? Because we're not freaking out. This Page of Cups receives this information. It does have a strong, powerful emotional impact, and they're not freaking out about it. They're, tell me more. What else? And what else? And what more? And now what? So it's a very, even though there's not a lot of information or it's all very new, the Page of Cups does have a very emotionally stable, mature response. But now we're at the King of Cups. We know a lot more. We understand a lot more. But still we have that maturity of not necessarily having to respond and act out every emotion that comes through our body, right? But giving ourselves some space to, and then that makes yourself actually emotionally safe for yourself too, when you can trust yourself to not, go running for the axe whenever someone pisses you off, or, hit the horn in any sort of traffic disruption, people just trying to get where they want to get to, right? So, and they may do something surprising and change lanes in front of you or cut you off or something like that. And it might surprise you. And what's this? Pay attention. But the king gives himself some space before they react. Like, probably not. And maybe it's a little upsetting, right? We're anxious when we drive. I don't know where this metaphor is coming from, but we're anxious. We understand. Well, a lot of people do. Some people don't. Some people get a thrill out of that, like understanding that we have this, there's something inherently a little unsafe about going these speeds, with a bunch of other janky drivers. Some of them may have gone to driver's ed, some of them may not have, some of them may care about their own life, which you rely on that, and others might not. So you have to be able to respond to anything and deal with some surprising things, but do it with like some maturity. So that's just like a metaphor for life. We don't know where people are coming from. We don't know if they're sober or drunk. We don't know if they're impatient or just, or not paying attention right now. Or let's see, one time I had to drive from one ER to another ER while in anaphylaxis. I'm pretty sure that was not my best driving moment in my life. But, so there are a lot of other people have a lot of things going on and being able to take that in. So we have I actually see the Page of Cups as being very mature, a mature response to at least the curiosity about the new information. And then we go to the Four of Cups, inner landscape. Well, what are you going to do about it? This is careful consideration, often resulting in rejection of a new offer. So this King of Cups may not be. It may be someone else bringing you a new offer, bringing you a new idea, bringing you some sort of new connection here. It's a much more matured connection. Maybe the last time we saw this person, we were kids or things were just new. Now they're bringing in some information. Everybody's grown up a little bit, but you're not sure you want it. I've already been married 3 times. I don't think I want to do it a 4th time is sort of what I'm seeing here. Or I've already if we were taking our traffic metaphor, I've already, had allowed 3 people to cut in front of me. I don't want to let a 4th one cut in front of me. I don't think I do want this. And it's not fair to the people behind me either that are trying to just pick up their kids too. So there you are thoughtfully going to be considering this offer, or are considering this offer from this King of Cups. Someone has matured though. You're like, well, that was all grape juice. You keep calling it wine. It's grape juice. I feel like I'm in kindergarten. What's this? Is this wine or is this more grape juice? Has this aged? And I feel like this has aged. This has matured. And so our question with this card is is this the real deal, or is this just another thing? Is this just, especially with the cups here, relationships and love can all bring us forward into some really powerful lessons, that drive to connect, that drive to have these important, I want to say, keystone relationships in our life that are really important to us. And it's also a drive to learning lessons through that love. And in some ways, the universe uses our desire for relationships for a vehicle for learning about ourselves, learning about other people, and all of that. And this may be like, but I don't want another lesson. I want the real deal. Is this the real deal, or isn't this the real deal, or is this another lesson? Or, we've already had this conversation 3 times. Are you actually going to listen to my point of view this time, or not? Because I don't want to have another one of these like immature conversations or these grape juice conversations. I want to have the fine wine conversation. And I don't know if that's what you're bringing or not this time. It looks like it could be. See, so there's maybe a closed mind to this of like, no, it's just more of the same. We've already gone down this path 3 times before, and I'm tired of it. But so that's maybe where your mind is at a little bit, is like predisposed to just, no, I've had enough. Thank you. I don't need more of this. But we have this angel bringing it in. Are we hallucinating the angel, or is this the real deal? And being a little closed-minded perhaps to a possibility that could actually be very real, could actually be the, aged wine that you're wanting and not the boxed wine that they've been bringing to you. So, right now you seem a little closed off and a little bit like, probably not. I think it's just going to be another round on the merry-go-round here. I don't know. And so I feel like this King of Cups, this matured fine wine is possibly bringing you something, and you're being pretty closed off to it because it's just like, oh, this again. Okay. So what's the issue here? Temperance. Maybe you've run out of patience with something. That's what I'm seeing here. An impatient vibe, not waiting for the universe to do its work. Not, again, though, we have this like messenger of the divine here coming in here, an angel. We have angels here, but there's this temperance, impatience, kind of done, not really wanting to wait and see if this is, not really wanting to test the waters, not wanting to wait and see whether it's wine. Like, you don't even want to get a sip of this. You're like, yeah, it was grape juice 3 times before. This always reminds me of Lucy and Charlie Brown. When Lucy's like, okay, you can kick the football. And Charlie Brown falls for it every single time and always feels like an idiot afterwards. The real asshole is Lucy in this scenario, who always coaxes him to try it, and then takes the ball away. No, you actually don't get to kick the ball. And we know that Charlie Brown never once kicks the football. So, and he always feels like an idiot and like a fool. And it's like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So this is the 4 of Cups. It feels like, fool me 3 times, shame on you. Fool me 4th time, shame on me. I can't even risk my self-esteem to do this. But so this temperance just seems like maybe so there's an impatient vibe. Maybe this King of Cups is a little bit impatient, waiting for a response from you. They shouldn't be, because you're pretty predisposed to say no. So if they pressure you, that could really tip the scales. Like, I don't think I want this. I've gone for this. This might even be like a promotion you may have asked for like 3 times before, and you're just not going to do it again. You'll just go someplace else if you want that next level. You're not interested in this. You're predisposed to. I don't see the 4 of Cups as having made a decision. I see the 4 of Cups as more of a probability. But in your inner landscape, it looks like a consideration, a little bit of a jaded consideration. And with this temperance here, just out of patience. You don't really have time for this. You don't want to wait and see. You don't want to take a few sips and figure out if this wine is aged or not. There's just sort of and there's like not mixing, or something just it hasn't mixed yet, or it's not time yet. And maybe you're getting that. Maybe you're like, maybe this page shows up and says, I'm a king now. And you're like, are you though? I don't know. You know, it seems like maybe more time needs to be thrown at this. Maybe you need more time to make a decision on something, on an offer, on information. Maybe you need a little more time. Maybe something seems too bitter or too sweet or too much. There's an imbalance, and there's like not wanting to wait for the balance, or not expecting something to be balanced or to be well balanced. It's like, well, it is. It's like going to a bar and asking for drinks a couple times, and the last 3 drinks have been just gross and horrible, and they're like, do you want another? And you're like, oh, hell no. No, thank you. You're a terrible drink mixer. What are you doing? Right, because the temperance in the upright. See, she's got those cups there, and she's blending them, mixing the bitters and the syrups and all of that to make it more palatable. This is unpalatable, and this offer may be unpalatable as well. And that's what you're predisposed to. In your environment, 9 of coins, someone's very successful. They are the hunter, and they have acquired their prey. Interesting in a relationship reading. But they have succeeded. This is the Empress in waiting. Someone who's been very successful, succeeded at their job, and maybe that's why they're feeling like they are the King of Cups now. Like, when you last saw me, I only had 1 coin, and now I've got 9 of them, and I'm very proud of myself, and proud of what I've accomplished, and proud of what I've become. It's like they're telling you, I have become a fine wine, and you're like, I don't know if I even want to try it anymore. It was grape juice the last 3 times. I don't think I'm going to go for it again. But they really have, though. They really have acquired something. They might have backing, finances, money. There's success in the environment. There's something that has succeeded and is successful and does have the funds and does have something of high value that they have worked for and achieved, or this company or this person or the situation has acquired a lot more value. And they've acquired the value. Work has been put in. This is not just, it didn't fall in anybody's lap. Like, this is work has been put in. And then your to-do list, 2 of Wands, being really practical. So it's not saying, so it's like moving forward, but being practical about it. I mean, it's not like guzzle this cup that's being offered. It's like, well, let's look at the contract. Let's look at the nuts and bolts of the situation. Let's see what we actually do have here. So it is an analytical, it is analysis. I almost want to say this whole reading is like 7 of Cups, like analysis of an emotional situation. So it is looking practically at the situation, not necessarily moving forward with faith, but looking back on something, perhaps inspecting something. There's a little bit of faith here, but we're not blindly going into it. So I like that you're skeptical in the 4 of Cups, and this is like, consider the option realistically. Don't just accept the offer, but consider the option realistically, figure out how it fits in, look at the real nuts and bolts of the situation. Because I'm losing my light very quickly. So looking at the nuts and bolts here, practical. It's a matter of faith. It's something that you're passionate about. It's something that you have been excited about in the past. But you may be a little, but it is like, look into it further. Yeah. Look into it further. It might not be as bad as you're worried it will be. And then possible outcome. Well, let's head out then. Okay. This is like, we planned the road trip, and now you're heading out on it. The Chariot, movement. Things get coordinated and things get moving. So it almost looks like you do accept the offer. It does become palatable. The Chariot too is these 2 things coming together. Hold on, I have to have light. Well, no, we have too much. I think this is exactly what we're talking about with this Temperance card in reverse. Not enough light, too much light. You know, it is Goldilocks and the 3 bears. Too hot, too cold, and hopefully it looks like at some point we get just right, because these are these things not coordinating, these hearts, these emotions, this relationship not coordinating. It's too hot, it's too cold, it's too if this is a relationship, you're either ignoring each other or intertwined and enmeshed. If this is like a work situation, it's either like you're working too much or you're either working too much and you have plenty of money, or you're not working enough. You're working just the right amount, but you don't have enough money. It's just like an intemperate energy. And this is like, figure it out, be really practical about it. Consider some sort of offer, consider the information you've been given. And so I love seeing these two because this is a total turnaround. These two opposing swans, the light and the dark, coordinate and get moving together in the same direction. There's coordination that finally happens because this is not moving in the same, not mixing. It's oil and water. But now we get some sort of like infuser. We put some sort of other substance in there, like mustard, and our oil and our vinegar can actually like start combining into something and work together. So, but here they're not mixing, the oil and the vinegar, let's call it that. Oil and the vinegar, not mixing, not, what's that called when they finally like, I want to say infusing, but that's not it. Emulsing? No, I'm not going to find it. So anyway, that's what happens. Things get coordinated actually, but you've got to be practical and skeptical, and you still have faith. There's still passion. It's just like, well, let's really look at this. Okay, this actually might be more successful. So that's what you're being asked to do, is consider that this might be better than you think it is. But this just had a hard time of everyone getting on the same page together. Okay, everyone getting on the same page together here. And some difficulty with that. But with some practical focus, you can. And it's 2 of Wands, so I like that too, as far as like the 2 cups over in Temperance and the 2 swans over in the Chariot over here, getting things moving that just did not seem like it was ever going to move forward. But you do move forward. Perhaps you even go somewhere, like a physical trip. It can be a car, it can be travel, it's just movement. And so if this were like a trip you were planning, just the details haven't come together, but you really get like practical about it and it does move forward. But you do need to inspect this offer. So if you're refusing an offer out of hand and just like, no, just look a little more closely at it. And it's possible for things to actually coordinate and get moving together and things to actually work together. So here we have, these are synchronicity cards. I think of them as, things to look for. But also they have other messages. And I love that we have the synchronicity card of all synchronicity cards. For me and my personal experience, hummingbird spirit, joy. So something making you very happy, but also looking out for a hummingbird symbolism, or hummingbirds in particular. I mean, that one's just really obvious and in your face, and that's exactly how it happened to me. And so also unicorn, purity. I think it relates to this Page of Cups, this very pure intention, this very open-minded, not jaded, right? Because we go from the Page of Cups where we have this very open-minded energy, and then we go over to you here being like pretty closed-minded and like, no, I'm not even considering this offer. And this is like, consider the offer. So unicorn, purity, I feel like some sort of going back to some sort of original openness that you maybe had at the beginning here. And I don't usually see the Page of Cups as at the beginning, but I feel like it's being open-minded about how you feel about something and actually inspecting it more. There's 2 cards here about the Page of Cups and the 2 of Wands about inspecting something further with an open mind, because here we have your mind pretty closed. So with some, and I feel like that comes in with this unicorn purity, having an open mind. And if you see a unicorn, by all means, pay some attention to it. And it's talking about sort of this innocent, childlike energy here, where you're in jaded energy. So sort of returning to some sort of childlike open-mindedness. And then ancient oak spirit strength. This also talks to me about the Akashic records, but this strength, sticking with something perhaps, having this strength, really it does take a lot of courage and strength to open your mind and openly consider something that you had previously deemed unconsiderable. So looking for oaks, well, we had our oak here too, didn't we? Our oak came off on that first Ace of Swords. The mistletoe growing on the oak tree, being particularly powerful for bringing peace and harmony. Yeah, peace and bringing peace and harmony to a situation. And final Wild Kuan-Yin Oracle. And these other cards are from the Sacred Forest. These are from the Sacred Forest by Denise Linn. This is from the Kuan-Yin Oracle. And you got two of them. Love makes all things possible. Perfect for a cups heavy reading. Love makes all things possible. Take your time. Commit to your inner journey. And don't give up. Divine Mother is always there. Success will be yours. I see that here too. In this Chariot, success will be yours. And oh, don't give up. That's the traditional message of the Strength card in tarot, is don't give up. And the oak is such a like long growing old tree. It goes from an acorn to this big giant thing, and it takes its time. It does not go quickly or fast. There's another deck where the Knight of Pentacles is depicted as an oak tree, or an oak horse, not moving fast, very slow moving. And then the hand gentles the war, this conflict here, especially this inner conflict I think that you have. The hand gentles the war. No matter how much chaos there seems to be in your world, trust it. It is just what is necessary to move you into the right place at the right time for what is meant to be in your future. When it is no longer needed, her hand shall gentle and end the war. So, upheaval and chaos, eh? But it will come to an end. Everything will get coordinated and move forward just when it was meant to. All right. Hope that was helpful for you, Libra. Thank you so much for joining me here. And if you want the love reading, it's going to be over on Vimeo. I have no idea what the lighting situation is going to be over there. I don't know. Maybe I'll finally coordinate my light and my dark, and we'll get it just right. Just like Goldilocks porridge. So anyway, see you later. Bye.